Hello, my crafty friends. Today I am back with another card using that beautiful sunflower paper, and this one is also a fun fold. It's an explosion card. I also have a tutorial for you later on in the video, but I'm going to first go over some of the supplies that I used. My card is a standard A2 folded. It is 5.5 by 4.25 inches. So like most of my cards do, this started with the pattern paper. This gorgeous pattern paper. This is the Sunflower collection from Crafter's Companion. This one is the 6x6 pattern paper, and this was actually sent to me by Scrap and Stamp Canada as part of the August Inspiration Hop. I will put a link to that hop in the description box below. Depending on when I actually air this video, the prize drawing might be closed, but if you're looking for some inspiration using all of the different products that were in this suite, the designers for Scrap and Stamp Canada did an amazing job. There was lots of beautiful cards made with this collection. And I know it does come in a 12 by 12 and also an 8 by 8. There's vellum and embossing folders. There's just all kinds of stuff in this suite. So that is what I used. I'm in love with the pattern paper and I've been using it. It comes with 36 sheets and I have been using it so much I think I've used at least half of the pad already. So that's pretty awesome. And I'm just going to show you one of the sheets here. Let me take it out of the paper, out of the package. So this is the one that I used for the front. I used a stitched rectangle to cut the panel that I wanted, and then of course then I save all the leftover bits to use for embellishments, but the back sides are also lovely and subtle, and so that is what I used to mat the sentiments. Here now I did ink the edges a little bit, but none of this paper is going to waste. It's so beautiful. The high. No special reason, just wanted to say hello. That is also new in my craft room. That's from Studio Katia. It's their Simply High. I loved it when I saw it. This is their new release, so I ordered it right away. So there's the Scripty High. It's a beautiful size, and of course there's a coordinating die, and then all the supporting sentiments, which is wonderful. But in addition to the stamp and die set, there is also a hot foil stamp. And I've used it a couple of times and it foils beautifully. I'm loving that companies are coming out with more and more hot foiling stamps. And while I'm not going crazy buying hot foil stamps, some of them are ones that I will use a lot. So those ones I am investing in. So there is the high for this one. I stamped it in a Catherine Pooler ink and used the coordinating die to cut it out. And I die cut it twice, once from a brown cardstock and once from the reverse side of one of these pattern papers. There's a little bit of Wink of Stella along the inked edge for some sparkle and shine. I also added some Wink of Stella in the center of the sunflower and then used Scrapbook.com's Copper Pops of Color for the bling there. Not sure if I said or not, but I also have a tutorial showing you how to do these folds. This is not a new fold. This is something I've been doing for well over 25 years. In fact, I used to go into my kids' classroom with a suitcase full of stamps and supplies and teach them this fold to make cards for whatever special occasion I was in there celebrating. So before I get into the tutorial, I just wanted to show you that I took one of the pattern papers that had a border top and bottom. So the 6-inch pattern paper, I just cut it in half at 3 inches and added one to the top edge and one to the bottom edge. It was cut at 5.25 inches wide. And then this paper here is a full 6-inch piece of pattern paper. And I also did some matting with another piece or partial sheet that was in the package. So it's a nice fun fold, and it does fold really quite flat for mailing. And depending on how you embellish it, it would mail for a single stamp as far as weight goes. They're so easy to make. This one is a 6x6 inch square, which you can see fits in a standard A2 card. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but folded it is 5.5 by 4.25 inches, which is a standard A2 card. So the 6-inch square fits inside the A2 card, and you make 3 score lines. You score it at 3 inches or the center horizontally, and at 3 inches or in the center vertically, and then 1 diagonal score line. And then you simply fold on the score lines. Now this one has been pre-folded because this is my second attempt at the video. The first one, you can probably hear some noise outside. My husband started working and the dogs went crazy thinking there was an intruder in the backyard. So that video got tossed, and here we are with number 2. Now what I would tell the students is, once you've done that folding, reverse those folds and fold them the other way. You want nice sharp creases on these explosion cards. I'm going to use my fingernails here, but in my craft room, I use a bone folder to make sure that those folds are nice and crisp. Now you do want to be mindful of the direction of your paper because it's going to sit like this. So this is going to be at the top and this is going to be at the bottom, and then these are the sides that fold in. So you know if you've got hearts or something, they're going to be sideways when you turn it. It didn't matter so much for the floral spray, but it's just something to be mindful of. Now this is the hardest part of the whole thing, is folding in these arms. And you just want to reverse the folds, and so what I do is I start to collapse it, is I fold it in half, and then because you've made this diagonal crease both sides, it's already kind of trained, I'm going to use my thumb and just push it back so I have that. Now I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm just going to push it in and it should start to collapse on its own. And then you're going to apply adhesive and add it inside your card. So I can show you that one more time. You're going to turn it. This is the top, this is the bottom. We'll go from the other side so you can see the other side works as well. Just going to fold it down, and then this side comes up. So there's your fold there, and this one will just come together on its own. And then you'd hear that inside your card. And I do try to center it inside the card so that, I mean, it's sticking over now because I'm working with layers here, but I make sure that my point is kind of in the center and then it's centered side to side. Add your adhesive and then you have your explosion. If you wanted to do some added decorative layers, but you're going to do that with a 2 3/4 inch square, and you're going to cut it on the diagonal. And again, be mindful of the direction of your paper, but that just gets added here. I did cut it out of a different color of paper so it would show up better, so you can see the matting layers just fit right on here. And you can alternate, they don't have to be the same. You could, put 2 different here. There's lots of ways you can play with this and make it your own, but it's such an easy technique to do. And if you're not familiar with it or you're struggling a little bit, I would suggest making a template like this and then just hanging on to it. Pop it in a little envelope or a cello bag and just hang on to it so that the next time you wanted to make one, you can see how it folds down, and having a visual next to you is really helpful if you're a beginner at it or you're not quite sure how to do it. In 6 months, if you go to make a card and you can't remember how it all went together, you can pull this out and have a look at it. So that is the explosion card. I am looking forward to sending this out for Happy Mail, and I think whoever I send it to will enjoy those beautiful sunflowers. Not sure if I mentioned, but I also added Wink of Stella to the center of all of the flowers inside, and again, who knows if it shows up on video, but it does show up really nicely in real life. If you enjoyed my card today, please hit that like button. It is such a help to YouTubers. Viewers, hit that like button. And I'd love you to subscribe to see more of my cards and tutorials. That's it for me today.